With the 2024 Lok Sabha elections set to begin, the government, the ruling party, the opposition parties strongly encouraging NRIs to participate in the electoral process. The Indian elections will span 7 stages. Starting 19th of April, the result will be announced on the 4th of June. So the poll process is over 1 month. And there is a full-on campaign to attract the non-resident Indians. According to the provisions of Section 20A of the Representation of People Act 1950, an NRI, a non-resident Indian who holds the valid Indian passport even now, even though settled in foreign land, can indeed register as a voter in India. That will have to be done via Form 6A. The catch is, these NRIs need to travel to India, physically cast at the ballot and at their respective polling station. No other provision is permitted. The NRIs are viewed highly every Lok Sabha elections. Why is that? Political parties recognize the significance of an NRI. These are ambassadors of India, and in the country they are living in, they send across a message of how India currently stands. Soft power, as they are called. So the political leanings of this Indian diaspora outside can have immense bearing over the domestic political discourse too, and on the global impact. So first, let me give you some basic information. An NRI is a non-resident Indian, an Indian citizen residing abroad. It could be employment, education, any other purpose, but a temporary residence abroad. OCI, Overseas Citizen of India, is a foreign citizen now, but with Indian heritage and has a lot of rights also and privileges that are given with an OCI card that they have. Then there is a third category, PIO, person of Indian origin, has Indian ancestry but holds foreign citizenship. Now, both these OCI and PIO do not hold voting rights that are available to NRIs, even though they are seen as part of the Indian diaspora. So while all these three categories contribute to Indian discourse, NRI can contribute in real changes too in the governance back home. A survey conducted by the US Census Bureau between 2013-2015 found out that Indians are the richest ethnic group in the United States of America. Recent statistics show that the trend still stands. Approximately 32 million individuals form the Indian diaspora worldwide, out of which 13 million are non-residential Indians. These are the NRIs. So imagine, among these 13 million, the kind of change that could make if they cast their vote in this election. And it's not just about the Western nations that I'm referring to. One RTI reply in July 2023 disclosed that over 66% of India's 1.34 crore non-resident Indians are situated in the Gulf countries, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar, Oman and Bahrain. According to an External Affairs Ministry response to an RTI filed by Nagpur-based banker Abhay Kolarkar, an estimated 1.34 crore NRIs live in 210 countries in total. Of these, 88.8 lakh overseas Indians live in these 6 Gulf nations itself. Now we know that the Middle East does not easily give citizenship to others. So these are largely still Indian citizens settled abroad. And they could become a deciding factor when it comes to changing governments or retaining it. For example, as per the final electorate of Kerala, 88,223 overseas voters in the state, where the NRI population from Kerala estimated to be about 35 lakhs in total. But among these 88,000, men constitute about 82,324 registered voters, while women constitute about 5,890. Even if these numbers travel back to Kerala for elections and cast their vote on the ballot, the numbers may swing. This is the reason that Prime Minister Narendra Modi mentioned these NRIs in Kochi at an event that he had attended in January. Such is their significance that Congress MLA Shafi Parambil, who is contesting at the Vadkara Lok Sabha seat, visited Sharjah because he wanted to seek the votes of these NRIs and ask them to travel back to India during the voting days. Now, beyond the Gulf, significant NRI population is, for example, approximately 12.8 lakh in the United States of America, 3.5 lakh for the United Kingdom, about 2.5 lakh for Australia, about 2.2 lakh for Malaysia, and 1.7 lakh for Canada. So how do political parties then reach out to these NRIs or the Indian diaspora at large? Let me start with the Congress party. Sam Pitroda is a name you must have heard. He often interacts with the media persons. He was a former advisor to Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi and has been entrenched very closely with the Gandhi family. He's been a well-established Indian entrepreneur, has been involved in India's telecommunication revolution in the 1980s. This business mogul, Pitroda, has served as the chairperson of the IOC, or the Indian Overseas Congress. IOC is responsible to garner support for the Congress party beyond India's boundaries, especially within the USA. So every time, for example, Rahul Gandhi goes abroad to the US or the UK, you should know that Sam Pitroda has been behind arranging those events. When Kerala leader, like I mentioned, goes to Sharjah to seek votes, it was via this IOC. Then comes the Bharatiya Janata Party's Vijay Chauthiawale. He's the head of the Foreign and Overseas Friends of the BJP. He was appointed in 2014. Now, Chauthiawale has held senior positions as vice president in big corporations. Chauthiawale has been organizing various events, rallies abroad constantly and for years now to expand Bharatiya Janata Party's footprint among the NRIs, specifically those who can make a difference in the discourse and in votes. So there are car rallies that are organized, community meetings, religious activities that are organized by the BJP supporters abroad to garner more support for the political outfit, or even if there is some national event, so to say, that the government, which is right now by the BJP, is organizing. They encourage NRIs constantly to come to India to vote. And if that is not possible, then campaign where they are based with these rallies, parades or event to generate excitement and add to the incumbent discourse. But it is as much about the money too. South Asian Voices quote, "The Indian diaspora is largest in the world and plays a crucial role in the country's economy, contributing the highest global remittance at about $101.2 billion. That was in 2022. That bolstered India's foreign exchange reserves and accounting for nearly 3% of India's GDP, enhanced India's financial standing, but has also facilitated technology transfers, socio-economic development and act as vital links between India and the world." Harsh Goenka, for example, who's the chairperson of the RPG Enterprises, elaborates on social media that good education, hard work, intelligent and working in top companies have added that value discourse of these Indians about the country. And that means also sending money back home. As per latest figures provided by the RBI, India's remittance touched an all-time high of $107 billion in 2022. So the remittance to their families or to initiatives add to the wealth in India, and also with their political leanings can be donated to political parties too. NRIs have to follow and abide by the Indian laws, even for financial transactions, and they can donate to political parties within India, which is not considered as foreign donation. And the netas will tell you, often these NRIs from USA to the Middle East become their biggest contributors while these donation drives are organized. Hence their value then of garnering support on foreign soil. So NRIs are important tools for Indian politics, and hence all leaders reach out to them. Their support and contribution and their vote matters. And let's be honest, the image of India affects these NRIs too. So if India is stable, growing, becoming a player in world politics, that also helps these NRIs gain immensely in their reputation as individuals and for opportunities in job and business. And that in the country they are living in because of the impact of the India that they have known or lived in or have been associated with. So it's constantly an interdependent relationship, isn't it? So eventually, as I conclude, what do NRIs bring to the table as the election season is on? Financial remittance, ideological support on foreign soil. With international exposure also comes a fresh perspective on politics. They're valuable additions in suggesting new and innovative ways to govern. The fact is, you may take an Indian out of India, but you cannot take India out of an Indian. And both together make Indian an identity to be proud of in front of the rest of the world. Thank you for watching.